Hey everyone, Jay Whitner here with Space Headlines. We do a quick summary each week of what's going on in space. And today we'll be talking about the fourth week of January 2020. Our first item is Tethers Unlimited. We all know that space debris is a big problem and steadily growing. And Tethers Unlimited has made some good experimental results and strides forward lately. They have this idea of Terminator tape that they're testing in space right now with satellites. And the idea is that the satellite deploys the tape, which helps it deorbit more quickly. The statistics are that once the tape is deployed, the satellite deorbits 24 times faster than without the tape. So this could be a very, very big deal. Congratulations to Tethers Unlimited. We always think about the astronauts hard at work on the space station and not doing the things that we do down here, but astronauts baked cookies on the International Space Station. This was interesting. It was the very first time that there was an attempt to bake things using raw ingredients in space, and the results were a little bit surprising. It took 6 times as long to bake cookies in the microgravity environment as opposed to if you baked cookies here. In terms of the taste, we don't know yet. The cookies were sealed up and sent to Earth for testing. So I guess we'll hear at some point how good space cookies taste. The House Science Committee came out with an ill-advised NASA authorization bill. Among other things, we would be changing our emphasis again. This time we'd be changing from the moon to Mars, despite all the effort that's gone into the moon focus in the last couple of years. And the bill also calls for moving away from the public-private partnership model and moving more toward the traditional government acquisition approach. The studies show that the public-private partnerships cost about 1/6 as much as the traditional method. So hopefully this will not go very far, and we will continue our current focus of lunar activities and trying to do things efficiently in terms of what they cost. Blue Origin is hiring. They're hiring for their Blue Moon Lunar Lander project. This is in the hope that they're going to get some nice NASA contracts in support of this project. NASA is getting ready to award 10-month development contracts for the human lunar lander for the Artemis effort. Several firms are competing for the human lunar lander. And it's a little bit more complicated because Congress didn't appropriate the amount of money that was requested. The amount requested for developing this was $1 billion. And Congress is going to provide $600 million. So roughly 60% of the funds that were designated as appropriate for the coming years. We'll see how all this unfolds. But Blue Origin does appear to have the inside track that they've put a lot of effort in already. Congratulations to Axiom. Axiom has been selected by NASA to develop a commercial module for the International Space Station. There is one port on the ISS available for this purpose. So Axiom is going to be the only one. And they are planning to have the first module to go there in 2024, toward the end of 2024. And they have a really strong management team at Axiom, with the highlight being Michael Suffredini, who managed the International Space Station project for 10 years. So they definitely have the experience to do this. Congratulations to them, and we'll hope everything goes smoothly. Another firm that people had earlier thought would be an interesting candidate for the ISS commercial module was Bigelow Aerospace. Bigelow Aerospace analyzed what NASA was looking at for the commercial ISS module and concluded that there just wasn't the appropriate amount of funding being provided by NASA for that project. So Bigelow is focused on free-flying commercial space stations as opposed to being docked to the ISS. Bigelow has a long history of working on this. Their expandable B330 module is quite voluminous. In fact, a cluster of 3 of those modules would have more pressurized volume than the International Space Station itself. So Bigelow is going to be moving in that direction. We wish them all the best of luck, and we'll see how everything unfolds. Rocket Lab had a launch. They launched a spy satellite for the National Reconnaissance Office. And they are using basically each flight in SpaceX fashion to test and learn about reuse of the first stage of their rocket. So they keep making progress in this area. In the most recent mission, they had gains in terms of the first stage's return and vehicle orientation, guidance, telemetry. They seem to be steadily moving forward for that. So congratulations to Rocket Lab on a good launch. Maxar got a NASA contract for a robotic assembly in space using a robot arm. It's a $142 million contract, and this is going to fly in space with the Maxar's Restore-L refueling spacecraft. The timing of this is the mid-2020s. If this sounds a little bit familiar, Maxar had previously had a similar program called Dragonfly that has basically been renamed Spider. So this thing is called Spider now. We'll all try to keep the new name straight. So congrats to Maxar for the NASA contract they secured. That's it for our coverage of the 4th week of January 2020. Hope you enjoyed our show, and we'll see you later. Take care.